Hello my crafty friends, Corrine here from Corrine's Crafts. I hope you are well. Well, you know what? I realised the other day when I looked back at one of my videos that you can see the state of my craft room there and there. I know, it's not good. It's just sheer volume of stuff. There is just so much stuff in here and you won't believe what I've cleared out. Anyway, I've worked out how the answer, what I can do. I can either clear up this mess or make videos. I want to make videos, so there's a solution. It's gone. There is no more mess. It's cleared up. No, anyway, I want to show you. This is today's card. It is a clean and simple Christmas card. Now, you know I struggle with clean and simple, so I've really pushed myself to make this one clean and simple. I hope you think it's hit the brief. I know some people are even more clean than this, but this is it's about as clean and simple as I get. I've made the glitter the gold papers, the gold splattered papers in here, and I'm going to show you how to create this lovely panel without an embossing folder. We're going to do it all from scratch. So this is how we're going to do it, and we're not going to look at the mess behind us. We're going to look at the card. Just look at the card, focus on the card, look, focus on the card, and let's see how it's made. All need to take inspiration from somewhere in some form, whether it's another card project you've seen, whether it's just a colour palette you see outside the window, or whether you think, or you saw some pre-made project cards and you think, oh, actually I can make those better. We all have to take our inspiration from somewhere, and this is a card I saw, clean and simple. Now, you all know I can struggle with clean and simples, but this is probably about as clean as simple, if it works how I think it's going to work, that I've probably brought to you on this channel. So let's have a go. Now, the first thing I saw was I saw a project and it had a piece of card just like this, and it had a strip down here that was all embossed, and it was embossed with grooves and then like Christmas decorations all down here. And I thought, I don't have a panel like that, but how can I do it? So this is going to be my topper, and I'm going to make a panel as a standalone and then stick it on, and then it'll work that way. It'll all make sense. So what I've done is I've got a piece of card. The length is irrelevant at the moment, and it's about just over 2 inches wide. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my scoreboard. So I can bring that in. So unfortunately, I'll just try moving the camera up a little bit so that you can see it all, or a bit more. Okay. So you can hopefully see a bit more. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to butt the card up to the edge. So I've got a straight edge. I'm going to get my score tool. Now that's in that. So this one comes to the, so I've got 2 inches and then 1/4. So I'm going to go to the 2 inch line, and I'm going to just do a score all the way down and again. And then I'm going to do the next one in, so that's 1 7/8. I'm going to do a score. Do it first with the thin tool, then with the thick tool. So the thin tool makes the groove, and the thick tool just sort of enlarges it. So I've got those. So if I turn those over, I've now got 2 beautiful score lines down that side. I'm going to turn the card round now. Just turned it 180 degrees. So it's in exactly the same position. And I'm going to come down the edge there again, thin side, large side. So first of all, what it does is the thin side stretches those fibres, and then the thicker ball will really put that groove in. Sometimes if you go straight in with a thicker groove, what you can do is you can end up tearing your card. And you can see I've got that pattern just like that. That looks really nice, isn't it? And then all I want to do, you've seen how we've done it, faux embossing, by using die cuts before. I found some snowflakes. Oh my goodness me, how old is this? This is a Spellbinders one. I'm just going to bring the camera back down again a minute. This is a Spellbinders set I had, and it's got all these different snowflake elements, and I'm just going to use these. Getting nice snowflake dies are quite hard, but this is a set that's stuck by me for years and years. Oh, look at that 2013 snowflake pendant. Wow, it's 11 years old. Blimey, there you are. So all I've done is I've taken some white card and I've die cut each of those 3 times. So I've got 1, there we go, 3 of those. There you go. You know, die cutting, you don't need to see me do that. So that's all I have done. Let's move the die out of the way. And then I'm going to bring in my craft mat, just because they're delicate die cuts. I'm going to pop that onto here. I'm going to get my precision glue press because it makes life easier. Make sure that end's nice and clean. I'm going to pick up one of these. It doesn't matter which end you start with because we're going to trim it down and you can then decide which way is the top and the bottom. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on. Now, because it's so delicate, even with my glue press, what I am going to do is do a little bit of a tap. And then I'm going to pop it on in the centre of there, right up to the top. I've done a practice with this, so I know this rotation works right. So I've put that one on. Then I'm going to get one of the other ones. I'm going to go with this one next. And I'm going to do exactly the same. Popping this one on. Put a bit of glue on all the exposed elements. And then tap a little, all the excess off. And then I found that this will fit nicely in there. Oops. And it'll stick to your finger if you're not careful. There we go. Straight down the centre. It wasn't down the centre then, so when I tried to move it, I nudged it off. There we are. Just get and press it down. There we go. Oh, let's just go there. There we go. And then we're going to do the next one exactly as we did before. Just putting on a little bit of glue, tapping off any excess, and then we can snuggle round that die. Works really well, doesn't it? And the next, you can spread them out more if you want to, but I found that this is actually enough. Let's put some on. There we go. Get those little bits as well, otherwise they'll be flapping around. Tap it down, pop it into there. Can you see? Just worked really well. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go into here and I'm going to pick up that spare glue so nothing is wasted. Let's go around there. And then the final one, I'm going to come in. Oh, I've got this one that's got a couple of bits it could have done with popping out, but never mind. It'll show you for what I want it to do. Onto here. I love this because you can see something and there's always a way, you know what I mean? If you think about it and think sort of outside the box, you'll find a way to be able to create it using what you've got. Okay, so I've got those there, and then all I would do is, once I know the size of my topper, was that my topper? What I would be doing is popping that onto there. Look at that, perfect size. Let me grab my scissors. That's going to fit on here. I would probably do this with my guillotine, but all you need to do is turn it over using the card as your bumper or your straight edge. I can cut that, and I know that's on there. So now when I stick that onto there, that now looks like I've maybe got an embossing folder or something to do those score lines all the way down, and then to put that on. So it looks like I've done faux embossing in lots of different ways. So yeah, I think that looks really, really nice. I'm just going to look at the one that I prepped. Yes, I am. I'm going to use this one just because it's come out a little bit narrower. So let's just put that one onto there. There we go. So I'm going to stick that down. I'm going to make sure I put glue down the grooves, just so that it sticks nicely. So yeah, I saw something that looked like, you know, like I say, somebody had got an embossing folder to do it. I knew I didn't have the embossing folder, so I just thought, I know, I'm going to find a way to do it my way. And this is what I've done. So there we go. So that is going to be my card topper. So I have got a card base. 10 folders normal, and I've just got this. It's actually, it's only just not a paper, if that makes sense. That's not very good English, is it? It's not, I don't know what GSM it is, but I do like it. It works really well, and you'll see I'm going to use a bit in a minute, and it's quite malleable, so it works really well. So sometimes card is brilliant. Everything has its purpose, and there are times when I want a nice thick card. There are times when I don't. I love the brushed gold effect of this paper as well. Really, really nice. So let's just pop that on there. I just need to slide it over, and then I can slide this one on as well. So my base is 350 GSM and the piece that I embossed. Yeah, just to get it nice and thick. And I wanted a nice thick piece so that when I did, it meant I had to work a little bit harder to get the emboss, but it also meant I knew I wasn't going to, you know, score through it, because that's what I've done before now, is if you're not careful, you can score straight through your cardstock. So yeah, don't use a thin one on here, otherwise you will score through it. But look at that now. Look at that. Doesn't that look really effective? It just looks like you've embossed this top piece. Really pleased with that. Right, I'm going to put that to one side, and we're going to make some flowers. I'm going to use my poinsettia again. You've seen me do these a few times, but before we cut out any poinsettias, we're going to take a piece of paper, and again, this is about a 200 GSM, and I just happened to be looking for some punches, and I moved this Cadence shake and gilt, so you can see, look at that gold mica in there. So I need to give it a good shake, because this was shook up last night, and when I did it right now, I have blocked the nozzle. So I was looking to see if I had any more tubes and any more sprays, and I don't. And this is what happens when you use mica things, if you don't clean them out. So what I'm going to do is pick it up. The mica is nicely distributed, and then I'm going to tap onto here. Let's do some nice big taps. So it's not going to give me the spray that I would have got with the bottle, but do you know what, very often I don't use the spray bottles. I do use the mica. Now, because it's in this carrier, so you can see this creamy coloured carrier, when I put it on, it comes out quite cafe au lait, maybe, you know, cappuccino. And I was like, oh no, that's not right. But what you've got to do is you've got to let it dry. So I'm just doing this instead of spraying, because I've blocked the nozzle more, basically, if I'm being truthful. So that's going on there. And then the other thing I found was, this is an alcohol ink, but it's an alcohol ink with pigment in. So this is going to give a completely different look. I just need to shake that too. And then I'm just going to give this a nice little drop. I'm not going to really, I'm just going to give it a tap. So you can see we're getting much bigger splats with this. But that's fine. It's going to work really, really well. Right. Now, that's an alcohol ink. It's not regular ink, but it's what I had. So that's going to take, look at it fizzing. It's amazing. Now you just need to leave that to dry. If you've got a heat gun, you can force it a little bit, but I would recommend that is best just left to dry. Look at that, you can see. Now don't worry about it. Straight away I can see here, look, can you see where the cloudiness is disappearing, and I can just see the gold coming out. And if you leave this to dry, now this one has dried overnight, and look at that. So let me get this the right way around. This is my alcohol ink, and I can tell that's my alcohol ink because it just feels a little bit, it's a little bit stickier. And then these ones here are that Cadence ink. So I've just got a piece of white cardstock now with two different golds, but doesn't that look amazing? So I'm going to find my poinsettia die. These are just Crafter's Companion ones, and I'm just going to pop it onto there. I'm just for speed. I wouldn't do this normally because I could probably get a bit more out of it if I didn't, but I'm going to cut that out using my mini die cutting machine. So I'm just going to pop those onto there, and then run that through, because this is all I need. It's a really simple die. I'm not going through a thick cardstock. It'll just cut it out perfectly. I do love my mini die cutting machines. I've got lots of different brands, and they are brilliant. Right, there we go. You can see straight away. Look at that. Shame to waste it. Now, I would say, when I was getting this prepped, out of all of those little scraps, I cut holly leaves and things which we're going to use. So make sure you use all of these little scrap bits up. I'm just trying to show you now for speed. So look at that poinsettia. We've got that gorgeous white leaf, because that's what they are, aren't they? Leaves on poinsettia, but with the gorgeous gold detail on. So all I'm going to do is bring in my mat. I'm going to flip those over. I'm going to get my ball tool, and I'm just going to work that on the back. You've seen me shape these. You've seen me shape them so many times, and you know exactly how it works. So just shape that, and that one. Just like that. It just rolls them up. You can go right to the edges, flip it over. I find that this, if any of this gold, it's just the, I don't know which one it is. I think that might be the Cadence one. If it does go on, it'll just brush off your mat. There we go. So I've got those. So I've got another set. I'm just going to reinvigorate those. This is a great thing about flowers. Before you stick them down, you can go as many times as you want. Let's come on to here. So this is going to be quite a lovely, big flower. I've got two of the larger ones, two of the smaller ones. And these were just two from a set. If you haven't got this, you could make this a Christmas rose. You know, you could be whatever you want. And what I'm doing now, you could do it as a wedding card, as a birthday card, you know, like I say, whatever you want. So I've got two of the larger ones, two of the smaller ones. And as I showed you, this is the gold paper that I did on my mat layer. And this is why I wanted to use a paper, because I wanted to be able to make a set of foliage out of it, petals, whatever you call it. They're not really petals, are they, on a poinsettia? Because every part of a poinsettia is a leaf. It's just that they're different colours on the leaves, usually red or white or pink, I think, are the main colours you get. So I can put that like that, and that like that. There we go. So we've got that. I don't want to lose my leaves, because I'm going to need those in a bit. But just so that you know, I've cut quite a few. Hopefully you can see those there. I don't know how many I'm going to use. Just found, like I say, a holly leaf die, and I've just cut some out. And the other thing I have cut out is I've cut out a couple of flourishes, again in that exact same goal, so everything coordinates. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the smallest little bit of tacky glue in there, and then my first petal. And I'm not going to put it in the centre. I'm going to put it sort of off the centre of that gap, and then another little bit of tacky glue, and that's going to go in that gap. So basically I've just split it into thirds. I'm just going to grab my ball tool and just press that down, and then I can just twist that ever so slightly. There's one. Then I'm going to do the same with the gold. Oh, that was a bit of a bubble. And then the next one. Come on. Not catching in the middle there. This is why I do like hot glue when I'm doing things like this, because this is quite a big flower. And another little piece. And then we can put that again. I want it, actually I'm going to just put, it's getting quite tight in there, so let's just do that. Remembering it's got to be a little bit staggered, but not too much. And then that one will stagger through there. There we go. Let's just twist that round a little bit more. There we are. Get it into, there we go, and press. I'm just going to press that and hold it for a second while that tacky glue just grabs. It's only paper, so everything is going to grab. And hopefully my glue gun is warming up nicely. Just giving my glue gun a second longer. You'll see on here, I've just stamped a sentiment, joy to the world. So I'm just going to bring my card in, and I'm just going to pop that down in that bottom corner. just like that. There we go. Well, let me bring that up so you can see. I've just popped that into the corner. Oops, just there, making sure it's straight. I'm trying to make the same sort, roughly the same border on those two sides. Okay, right. I think my glue gun is warming up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and I've just found, look at these. Look at these tiny little mica beads in gold. Aren't they gorgeous? When I was just putting things away, I found them in one of my boxes. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to just, oh yes, my glue gun's coming out there. I'm going to put a bead of hot glue in the centre, and then I'm going to get my gold beads, and I'm just going to pour them all over. Oops, just like that, lots. You can always put them down. And then I'm going to do it this way because that's slightly bigger. It's just a bit easier. There we are. Look at that. There we are. Perfect. So now I have this gorgeous poinsettia with a lovely, that's dried already, a lovely gold, like little beaded centre. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? I am loving that. So I think we need to build up the card now, don't we? So let's bring in the card, and we're going to just pop on. So effectively that's going to go there, just like that. But that just sort of hangs there, doesn't it? It just floats. It's not actually doing a great deal. So I'm going to pop one of those just there, and one of those, actually I might go, because I've got the sentiment at the bottom, might go that way, otherwise it's going to go over the sentiment, and then that one can go, that looks better, doesn't it? Absolutely loads better. So let's see if I can lift that up without disturbing those. Put a nice big blob of hot glue on the back of there. There we go. And when I put that onto here, it should catch those. Now, you know me, I'm not going to glue those down. If you want to glue those down, you can. I'm not going to. I like the fact that they've got that fluidity. So I'm just going to get some of these. No, they're not ivy. They are holly leaves. Get it right, Corrine. And I'm just going to pop a couple of these in. I don't think I'm going to use too many of those bigger ones. I'm going to use, how many sizes? I think I did 2 sizes, that's right. 3 sizes, sorry. 2 each of 3 sizes. Let's do that one. Let's put a little bit of glue on. And then you can go, let's do, you could, if you wanted to, put them along the filigree elements, if that works for you. I don't think it's going to work on this one. So you could. No, I'm going to just tuck it under here. That's quite a white one. So let's get one that's got lots of nice gold on. Like that. There we go. Just under there we go, that'll do. And then, just because you know me, I have got some clear or some gold. What do I think? I think to try and keep it fairly clean and simple, I'm just going to put, am I going to put a couple of clear ones on? Let me just see. I'm just going to hover it over a couple of, I've got a couple. Oh no, the gold does work. I'm going to use the really smallest ones. Really small. Just put those. There you are, 3. That's all I'm going to do. 3 of those. And that is, I think I've hit the brief. Clean and simple Christmas card. What do you think? Oops. That one's moved a little bit. It'll have to stay, it's glued there now. What do you think? Do you like that one? I am really, really pleased. The fact that we've made our own papers, we've created this that looks like it's embossed. You could get away with actually doing a few less, because if I position that better, look, you can hardly see the ones that are under there. So I could have put 2 at the top and 2 at the bottom, but that's me. I knew I wanted it all the way. How about that? I am loving that. There you go. That is today's project. I hope you have enjoyed that. I know I was asked if I could do a couple of clean and simple cards, so there we go. It's, you know, maybe it's not your style, maybe it is, maybe it's something you've not tried. It is quite a difficult technique to master. Well, I'm finding it quite a difficult one, and I know from comments that I've had on my Facebook, other people sometimes find it quite hard to master too. So I hope I've given you some hints and tips. I hope I've given you a little bit of inspiration. If you do have a go, please go and post on my Facebook page anything that you make. I'd love to see. As always, there'll be links down at the bottom. If you can click on any of those, they really help. And I will also put my subscription link up at the top. So until next time, there won't be a post tomorrow because I'm not posting on Sunday of this week because it is my monthly colour challenge on Monday. So I saved my post for Monday. I just can't get 5 posts out in a week. So please don't forget to subscribe, and then you will get to see the monthly colour challenge for this month. What's it going to be? Okay, thank you for watching. Take care, my friends, and I'll speak to you all very soon. Bye for now.